I've read thousands of stories about forgiveness. One began, "You got a letter from your dad?" Her husband's words stopped her. She'd missed having her father in her life as a child. Most kids she knew in the 60s and early 70s had a dad, and being different was painful. Information regarding her father was always scant. When her mom said anything about him, she just told her that he was a good man. But the question always plagued her. If he was such a good dad, why didn't he want to see her? Whatever the reasons, she had seen her father a grand total of 3 times since the 2nd grade. As the years went by, the emotions she felt about him ran the gamut: hurt, disappointment, anger, indifference. At one point in her 30s, she wished secretly that maybe he just died and she wouldn't have to worry about him anymore, trying to come back into her life. She was doing well, a happy marriage, 2 children of whom she was extremely proud, a job that gave her satisfaction. Why did she need a father? But the years continued to pass. And though she still felt very angry at times, she found herself turning 40 and wondering about him. Was he happy? Did he have other children? What had really happened between him and her mom? So she asked a colleague who was visiting the town where she thought her father lived to check the phone book. She found his name and carried it with her in her checkbook for 6 months. A few months before her 41st birthday, she wrote the letter she'd been contemplating all summer. And she rewrote it and rewrote it. After all, this man was a stranger. It was a short, matter-of-factly worded letter. "Dear Bill, I apologize for calling you by your first name. I have no idea how to address you. I don't have many questions, but they are the ones I need to ask. It may be that your ability to answer them is long gone, and if so, that's okay. You don't have to worry about starting something here that you might not want to finish. I really want nothing more from you than a few facts. I'd like to hear your side of things. But please, if you decide to answer, do it in writing. I'm not ready for more than that right now." It was a very self-protective letter designed to minimize the hurt that she felt sure was coming. No answer, or worse, a cool no thanks. Now he'd written back. "Dearest Karen, wow, what a surprise to hear from you. Your question about why I did not keep in touch, I made a decision that it was better for you and your brother not to be sent back and forth between your mother and me, and now I realize that I was wrong." He underlined wrong twice. "That was a long time ago. I miss you so very much. I only hope that someday I could be a part of your life again. My love, your dad." It took her a month to sort out her feelings enough to write again. "Dear Bill, truthfully, this father-daughter thing scares me to death. What if you're someone I don't like? Worse, what if I'm someone you don't like? What if we write a couple of letters and then you quit writing and it's like I'm 5 years old again? I guess it's about forgiveness. It requires no action on your part. I will be satisfied whether or not you ever respond again because I made the effort. I hope God will take that effort and make it into something good. I'm sorry if a writing relationship is less than you were hoping for." He wrote back, "Hi, sweetheart. The fact that you wrote back to me makes me feel so good, like the void in my life is starting to be filled. I do understand your feelings about me. All I can hope for is our starting to learn about each other will hopefully become a comfortable situation for us both." His future letters were filled of details about his happily married life and his past. In each one, he reiterated his love for her. Hers were a little more restrained, full of questions and misgivings. She couldn't write, "I love you." They continued to write each other every few weeks for another year. On Christmas Eve, she spoke to her father on the phone for the first time in more than 15 years. They both cried. The next month, when she walked off the plane and saw his face, it filled her with joy, and it looked so much like hers. She knew God had indeed worked it out. 5 years later, she speaks to her father almost every day, and their lives have become irrevocably entwined. Each conversation ends with, "I love you." The anger she felt so often has mysteriously disappeared, and a wonderful sense of peace has taken its place.